Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Amber, I heard Cindy, Larry the house guy. Good. So glad. You know what? I'm a little disappointed that there was not more dancing going on in the background picture. So that's something
I didn't want to show off, Jay.
Why do you think my camera was off?
Yeah, that is something we desperately need to work on, guys. So let's, hey, we can do this. Let's work on our dance moves. Wendy said she will teach a lesson, and we'll be ready to go, and we'll get ready. She loves to dance. I know it. I feel it in my bones. All right, let's start with some bucket fills. How's everyone doing? Let's fill some buckets.
Happy birthday, Cindy.
Happy birthday, Cindy. Way to go. You did it. You made it another year. Way to go. All right, fill some buckets. We've been doing this long enough. You guys know what to do. Tell me, give me some gratitude. What has someone done for you this week that showcases KWSA's culture?
Well, Dan is amazing at the scripts and tricks at 8 a.m. He's super consistent. It's awesome.
Awesome. That's nice. Way to go. Way to go, Dan.
I got one for Heather. Heather patiently taught me or sat down with me for almost 2 hours yesterday, helping me with the boogeyman. Commands.
Command.
Thank you, Heather, for your patience and all that knowledge and expertise that's in your little cute brain. I appreciate you.
Awesome. That's nice. Way to go, Heather. Way to go, Kathy. Who else? I have heard, and Kathy, you can back me up, that gratitude is the antidote to depression, right?
Yes.
So as we give gratitude, it releases chemicals in our brain. It makes us happier. So now's the opportunity. If you're not giving gratitude anytime during the week, make this the time. Two more bucket fills.
Jay, I just have to say something about our brokerage department. That would be Lisa, Wendy, Nancy. Like, they back us up so much as staff. And I know that just listening to them talk about our agents, and they have the agents back in our market center. And so they're your people protecting you and taking good care of you, making sure that your transactions are done smoothly. And then they also work tirelessly with the MCA department so that we can get everybody paid on time. I mean, they are just on it with file review, and I think they're doing an amazing job. So I just want to put that out there.
Awesome. That's very nice. Way to go. All right, let's move on. I believe I saw Kathy Fowler, and I know I saw Debbie. Do we know if we have, let's go. Kathy, are you on the call? And do you want to start? Tell us what's going on in title. Oh, there's Colleen. How about Colleen? There we go.
Good morning, everyone. I wasn't sure that we were speaking this morning, but we are very busy in title, so thank you very much. I have been popping into the office, dropping off supplies. I know that Kathy has too. We just want to remind you that we are here. If you're having any trouble with research or finding things or going over a prelim, we're happy to do that. I know that Kathy has done a couple of classes for me for a couple of the teams, just going over the prelim and the process. So thank you so much. We appreciate you, and that's it. Short and sweet today.
Awesome. Thank you, Colleen. I saw Debbie. Debbie, tell us what's going on in the world of lending.
Good morning. Well, I had a lot to say, and then I got my Thriller vibe, and I went back to the talent show dance. I was over here like doing the dance.
That is the goal.
So,
well, perfect. So Debbie's going to lead us in dance lessons.
Oh, I don't know. I'm an aggressive dancer. I'm not a good dancer. That's what I've been told. So maybe that's not my thing, you know. So, but good morning. Good morning from Fairway Mortgage and Intralend. I'm really proud of you guys. Over 70 who've downloaded the app. 70 of you. We started with 5 people less than a month ago. So it's a now what? So what we're gonna do on Friday at 2:30, I'm gonna have a Zoom meeting and we'll get everything out to you guys. I'm gonna teach you how to use the app. We're gonna have prizes, we're gonna have giveaways. And usually at Friday at 2:30, my very last kid is finishing up homeschool. So we will celebrate together. If you are in that world right now, that crazy world, right? I'm seeing Raise the Roof. So Friday at 2:30, meet me on Zoom. I'll get everything out. I have a lot of giveaways. We have a lot of fun, but more importantly, a lot to teach you to help your customers to get really competitive rates and win the offers and get those houses sold.
Awesome.
Thank you for your time. I'll see you guys Friday at 2:30.
Awesome. Thanks so much. We'll just make sure that that is on the calendar. I'm going to throw that to Heather. Make sure that that is on the calendar, the one KWSA calendar. Thanks, Debbie. All right, we got birthdays. How about this is the month for birthdays? Keller Williams, you guys have a ton of birthdays this month. So, hey, if you're celebrating this month, we're celebrating alongside of you. We appreciate you all. And as you can see, hey, take a mental note. Look at it. Look at all these different people and reach out to them. Show some love to these people, okay? Closest today is Cindy Powell. Cindy Powell's birthday today. We got a bunch of people following up next week, so make sure you reach out to them. Hey, go to the next slide. We had a bunch of people have some great months. Last month, several people capped on their company dollar. Super excited for all these people. Specifically, I want to point out I would point out every single one of them because you're all super important, but I want to call clear attention to Tracy Costell and Amber Harvey, who are new agents that capped. Way to go, guys. Good job. First time capping. Way to go. Good job. Also, we've got first transactions. We got new agents that are getting business done. Several. How about Ruben, Renee, Randy, Mario, Juliana, Jeffrey, Jamie, and Alex. Congratulations, you guys. Way to go. Did it. That is, hey, is it, do you think it's fun to start your real estate career amongst COVID? Yeah, I'm sure that there's probably some, they're like, ooh. But hey, way to persevere, way to go, guys. Good job. Next slide. I don't know if you heard this or not, but KW had their best month ever, not only here in Tucson. GCI, guys, we had our best month ever. You guys are making more money than ever before. And Keller Williams Realty International had a GCI of over $1 billion for the month of July. 1 month. That's incredible. Look at these numbers. Listings taken, volume up 25%. Listings sold up 48%. You guys are killing it. GCI up 42%. Best month ever. So you guys, I hope you realize you're partnered with a company that is invested in your growth. And we are kicking tail. You guys are kicking tail. So keep it up. Next slide. Mega Camp coming up very soon, September 15th through the 17th. We are finalizing details about having a small gathering where we can be together for the main talks. So keep your eyes open and your ears open for details coming out soon. I will tell you it's going to be at a local resort. We will be socially distanced in like a ballroom, and we're going to be able to have that mega camp experience, but not pay, $800 for a flight and $1,000 for a hotel and all that stuff. We're going to be able to do it here in Tucson at a nice place. So please keep your eyes open. We've got some slides about the agenda. The technology is going to be very impressive. In fact, I've heard it described like this. Imagine you could get in a time machine and go back to 2006 to the Apple inaugural event where they introduced the iPhone. That'd be probably historic, right? We'd like to feel the energy in that room when Steve Jobs showed that. My understanding is the technology that's going to be unveiled at Mega Camp is going to be very significant. So you're going to want to be a part of it. So not only is their agenda 1 week before, you're going to enter your own profile, and that's how they're going to tie people together. It's still going to be an opportunity for you to develop referral relationships, but it's going to be through a digital platform. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's going to work. So go ahead and go through the next couple slides, Heather. Mega Camp Eve, you got some things, the day 1, day 2 agenda, all the same stuff that we come to love from Mega Camp will be part of it. Mo will have the cultural summit on the last day. Gary will have his keynote address on day 1. Josh Team on day 2. You're going to hear from tons of panels of agents that are really radically changing the business in this country. So make sure you get signed up. If you need information or you want to get signed up, contact Cindy Powell. There you go, Cindy. Kicking it to you from there. Anyone excited about that?
Can I just say, Jay, that the cost for this is so much less significant than it has been in the past. I think it's been around $799 to go. Plus you have travel, plus you have hotel. And so the expense to get to Mega Camp in Austin is usually a lot for your business. So if you're a brand new agent, I think what's our rate, Jay? I didn't check it. I think it's
129.
129. So that is just really nothing for the amount of training and the information that you're going to get with top agents all across the country. Mega Camp is an amazing event every year. It's my favorite of the two, Family Reunion and Mega Camp. I always, other than the heat in Austin, and now we get to enjoy it like in the air conditioned room wherever we are. So just take advantage of this opportunity. It's so much less expensive than normal. And if you didn't go because you couldn't afford it, now you have absolutely no excuse. So reach out and I will help you get registered. And we hope to have as many of you available for it as possible.
Awesome. I think I've already heard from agents that are saying, this is going to be my first Mega Camp. I'm so excited. So, and also, I'll throw in, I have 11 committed invitees from agents from other brokerages that see the value in this training. You guys need to open up and see the value of this training. It's going to be really good, really good. Enough about that. Let's move forward. All right, Miss Kathy Boston, you got a culture tip for us, please.
Yes. So the National Task Force developed a survey, and many of you, probably all of you, should have received an email with the link in there to take it. It takes less than 5 minutes. Your input is going to be extremely important because the information and the input that we receive from you is going to be incorporated in the course development and training for diversity and social equity throughout the company, and it's going to be incorporated in the major platforms, Mega Camp and Family Reunion, and that sort of thing. So please take just a few minutes and complete that survey. It can be found in KW Connect in the Culture tab under the Social Equity Task Force. And if someone from the Market Center can post the link to our Facebook page, that would be phenomenal if you would do that.
Kathy, we sent out a text that went out at 9 a.m. this morning, right at the beginning of team meeting. So everyone should have a text on their phone with the link as well.
Oh, sweet. I must have been in the shower. Okay. All right. Or something. All right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate it. All right. Our wonderful brokerage team, Lisa, Nancy, and Wendy, not Wendy. That sounds like I'm singing a cameo song. Wendy. Hey, who's got the broker tip? Hello. I know I see Wendy and Nancy. Who's got the broker tip for today?
Well, I thought Lisa was going to be on the call, but maybe something happened, so I'll just jump in here and wing it.
That's the way to do it.
Okay, just want to remind you all that September 1st, no new transactions in .loop, and anything that you have that will be closing after October 31st should be transferred over into Command to help us out. And other than that, at the end of October, all the full access to .loop is over and done with. So again, the same tip as last week. We just kind of want to keep bringing this in front of you so that none of you are surprised by this. But it's happening. And thank you to all of you who are, more and more of you every day are using Command. And Nancy and I really appreciate that. We are also getting used to it. And so we are finding our way there. So have patience with us as well. And that's it for me today.
Awesome. Thanks, Wendy. Thanks for jumping in and saving the day. All right, next up, Miss Cindy Lou. I don't know if you heard, but it's her birthday today. Way to go, Cindy.
Hey. That's pretty cute. I guess Kayla did that before she left. Love it.
She
you know, it's often important to reflect on how far you've come in life whenever you've reached a milestone of a birthday. And so I was thinking this morning about how grateful I am to be a part of Tucson, the area, and the 2 market centers that we have here. it's just been such a great, wonderful experience. And I look forward to many more years learning new agents and getting to know everybody at both market centers. So I'm very excited about that. That, however, is not my MCA tip. My MCA tip today has to do with the listing blitz that we are starting today. So you have until 5 p.m. today to sign up for the listing blitz. The purpose of this, we're calling it a competition, a blitz. This is to help you focus on getting listings. Why would the market center want you to focus on getting listings? How important is it to have listings? James Werkheiser, what did having listings do for your business?
That's all I have is listings.
Does it make it easier?
Listings are leverage. Listings are where the buyers are. You control the market when you have listings.
Perfect. That's exactly the answer I was looking for. I don't want to steal your thunder from the listing panel that's coming up as soon as we're done here, but that's exactly correct. When you have a listing, you have leverage. And so it's really important. If you're an individual agent, a team agent, whatever, you can participate in the listing blitz competition that we have going. Don't be concerned if you're brand spanking new. It's really an exciting time for you to get in and focus on listings. There'll be lots of resources for you between now and the end of the competition, which is September 21st. You have an opportunity to earn a lot of points by participating in the listing blitz. And so if you're brand spanking new and you don't get your first listing during this time, there is the potential for you to have earned enough points that you might squeak by with one of the first, second, or third prizes. So don't be intimidated by it. Just look at it as an opportunity to get your business focused in the right direction. If you're interested in joining the listing blitz, you have until 5 p.m. today to send me a snapshot of your command database. So the purpose of this listing blitz is while we're focusing on listings, everybody's having to switch over to command. We've got tons of tech training going on with our tech driver, Heather, and with Jesse and Larry, our ambassadors. And so this is a great opportunity for you to build your database in such a way, especially as a brand new agent, to where that you can focus on listings and having leverage for your business. So join us if you're interested. Send me a snapshot of the health of your database. It's like the first page on the dashboard, what the health of your database is. We'll help train you how to get that health up to 100% or as close to 100% as possible. And we'll be doing that throughout this time. So send me the snapshot and we'll get you signed up, and then we'll be sending you more information. So you have until 5 p.m. today. So don't miss this opportunity. We have some great prizes, especially if you're a new agent. Has anybody priced a lockbox lately? They're kind of expensive. It's like new shoes. I'd rather have new shoes than have to buy a lockbox, right? Yeah. So, or go get my hair done, or maybe a pedicure or something. So that's one of our prizes for first place. In second place, you'll get a command ad and some open house signs. And third place is a command ad. I mean, we're just really going to shower some gifts on you for trying so hard to get listings. So thank you for your participation ahead of time. We'll be presenting results as we go throughout the time. We'll announce who the participants are next week, and then where they fall in their positions of the blitz. And so come on, join us. It's gonna be fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Cindy. Make sure you guys reach out to Cindy, get that snapshot to her today to get going. All right, I think Jesse has some slides here to cover via DocuSign.
Good morning, everybody. Yep, I sure do. So the first thing, we're going to talk about...
Can barely hear you, bud.
Okay, hold on one second here.
Can't hear you at all, bud.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
There we go.
All right.
Can hear you what, bud?
Can you hear me, Dan, or no?
Got you.
Okay, good. All right, so we got a couple new features coming into DocuSign as of last week and coming into this week. So the first one is for those of us that like to keep our rooms clean. You see what I did there? We can now delete old and unnecessary docs out of the room. The cool thing is this is not going to affect your compliance record at all. This is just for you when you're getting your docs done. So make sure to try that out and see how it goes for you, okay? It's awesome. Let's go on to the next one. You can also replace outdated docs with an updated version. This is pretty awesome. This is pretty new coming through here. So once we go through everything, you'll see this coming up, okay? So be sure to join me to learn how to use it. And there have been new updated how-to videos added to KWU. So if you don't know how to get there, be sure to join Heather later today so she can point out where those basics are in her Tech Bootcamp class today. That'll be at 3 p.m., which is pretty awesome. And we have a special class coming up on the 29th of this month from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. There will be limited live seating available at all of our offices. We will be adhering to our social distancing requirements so that we're not in violation of any of those things. It will also be broadcasted to everybody as well via Zoom. And this is going to be important, guys. This is from contact to close, right? We want to make sure you know how to do everything and get paid for the work that you do, that hard work that you do. This is highly important. So make sure to reach out to email tech@1KWSA or Kayla@1KWSA to register up and to find out some more information.
Heather, do you need to add anything to that?
Just wanting to mention, make sure that you are reaching out and not just coming in that day. There are going to be some requirements if you want to be a live participant at one of the locations that you have to make sure that you're fulfilling prior to attending the class, so that we ensure that you, along with everyone else that's attending the class live, is able to follow the class from start to finish with very minimal interruptions. We don't want to deter the class if you don't have like DocuSign connected, or you don't have Chrome on your computer, or you've never gone into Command at all. So we have all of the tech classes leading up to those that we are wanting everybody to hopefully attend as a majority of those as they can, or watch the videos that are up on YouTube prior to attending, so that you're ready and prepared to jump in to learn the class from start to finish, because it will be a fast class.
Yep, and let me add on to that. Every Tuesday we have Compliance Like a Boss at 1 p.m. that I am teaching, so you can learn how to use DocuSign and Command for compliance so you can get paid. So we're doing it incrementally during the week, and the 29th will be the culmination of everything put together.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Next slide, too. I'll promote right after team meeting is over. If you're interested in jumping into Ignite to hear Jesse talk about marketing, please jump in. Jesse, I suspect you're going to be really explaining Command and how it can help you market your listings and how you can actually go lead generate using Command.
Yep, that is absolutely right. We're going to cover all of that. It's going to be
perfect.
awesome.
Awesome. Sounds good. All right. So, hey, good job, guys. I was so worried that we were not going to have enough time for our listing panel, but we do. Congratulations. Way to push through. So I want to introduce James Werkeiser, Jess Castillo, Josh Berkeley, and Shelly Laster. And we've got some questions. Is anyone interested in trying to up their listing game? Raise your hand. Yep. Okay, good. Dan, anybody else? Okay, Emily, Amber, perfect. As I scroll through here. Jody, Coke, awesome. So these four individuals have strong listing games. I can't think of four better people to help us learn more. So, hey, guys, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to jump on the team meeting call this morning. And we got some questions for you guys. You all feeling well? Count off. Josh Berkeley, are you here?
Here.
All right, perfect. Shelly Laster?
I'm here, and I
All right,
can't figure
perfect.
out how to show my video, my face.
Okay,
So you're
perfect.
gonna look at this background instead.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And I saw James and Jess. So you guys on?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right, let's start with question one, and we'll just work our way down. We'll start with James, Jess, Josh, Shelly. Question number one, which is the question I think every either newer agent and even some existing agents, the struggle right now with getting listings. Where do you go to find sellers? What do you guys do to find sellers? Start with James.
For me personally, the majority of it is referrals, but if I was starting brand new in the business, I'd be doing open houses because most folks today that have to buy a house need to sell one first.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about that. I think most of the time we say if you need to go find a buyer, do an open house. But you're saying you're finding sellers there?
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything special that you're doing to attract sellers to your open house?
You're just doing the open houses in the right areas. You know, for example, a lot of folks will say, hey, let's hold that $1 million house open. You know, pick a neighborhood where there's a lot of turnover, a lot of activity, a lot of sales, that the sweet spot with pricing for the Tucson average. I mean, when you look at the bulk of homes that are being sold, they're in between that $200,000 and $400,000 range. So pick a good area and just be consistent with it.
Awesome. Okay. Hey, Jess, what about you? Where do you find your sellers?
Well, honestly, for those of you who don't know, James and I are business partners, so a lot of our answers may be pretty similar, but we are a very sphere-heavy team. So work your sphere if you haven't already. For new agents, though, if you haven't started building a client base yet, you're not going to get a lot of sphere referrals or past client referrals right off the bat. So I would say, open houses are a great way to get your feet wet, but also try your hand at circle prospecting. Maybe try some door knocking. What you have to do is you have to figure out what lead gen lever is going to work for you and then focus on that one thing. So don't try to be a jack of all trades after a year or 2 years in the business. Find what's working for you and stick with it.
Can you give me an example when you and James both said work your sphere? What does that mean to you?
Well, I think it means it's a little different than it looked even 5-10 years ago, right? It used to be call every person in your contact list and let them know that you're in real estate. That's one way to do it. But I think you really need to meet your sphere where they're at. So if you're used to texting with people or you're used to reaching out via social media, do whatever feels natural to you, but make sure people know what business you're in and meet them in a genuine way, okay? Don't make it a sales call. Reach out to them and build relationships, build on the relationships you already had, or apologize that you've dropped the ball in the past. But I think what's important is that it's coming from a sincere place and that you're not just trying to fire hose them with, hey, I'm in real estate, who do you know?
Right. Good. Very well. Mr. Berkeley.
Good morning.
Where do you find all your sellers?
Well, I used to go after James and Jess's expired listings, but they're selling everything now, so that's not happening anymore. So I've had to find new strategies. One of the things I would say is there's gold in the old. And I think Jess was talking about that a little bit. It's really important to continue to follow up with leads. And one thing my coach taught me years ago is that there's no such thing as a bad lead. A lead is a lead, a person is a person, and so there's continual follow-up. I think right now, the biggest piece of advice I could give in finding listings is just talk to everybody. Make sure that you are reaching out to your sphere and that they know what you do, and that because those are the people that know you, love you, and trust you. And you will definitely get business by just meeting people, talking to people, and reaching out to those that you know. We all have a big enough sphere if we really sit down and think about it.
Right. Exactly. I agree with you. Shelly, same question. Where do you go to find sellers? If you had to find a seller today, what would you do?
Well, actually, I'm going to go to one of my new closings, or I'm having a closing today, and I'm going to go around the neighborhood and drop off flyers. I've got 2 other buyers that are trying to get into that neighborhood right now. So that's one of the things, basically circle prospecting, that I'm going to be doing today. I've been getting a lot of sign calls on my listings that I currently have, and so I'm trying to convert those people. A lot of people will approach you about a purchase, and they actually have a listing to sell first. So that's a really good place to go. I get a ton of agent-to-agent referrals, and my past clients are also starting to sell now. So
yeah, how do you stay in contact with your clients? Do you use a method? How do you keep in contact with them?
I just started using a CRM. It's my sixth
nice.
year in real estate, and I'm just starting to use my CRM seriously. So that's how I'm
Okay.
keeping in touch. I also, I'm pretty personal with my clients, so we're texting and we're on social media a lot.
Gotcha. Perfect. So I'm going to stay with you and work our way back down. All right. So I have heard this in Keller Williams Realty International circles that Phoenix in Southern Arizona is the land of the discounters. There are more discounting brokerages in our area than in any parts of the country. So with that in mind, how do you stay firm on your commission percentage with all the discounters?
Is
So I'll
that for
start with
me
you,
again?
Shelley. Yeah, Shelly, I will start with you and I'll work backwards.
Okay, yeah, that is a tough one. There's a lot of people out there discounting right now. I think that it's important that you have like a menu of services so that they can see everything that you're providing for them, and you can compare that with discount realtors who are not doing the same services. A huge thing for me is just explaining commissions. There's almost nobody out there who understands how realtors get paid. And what you get paid for and how it's split. And so they see that you're getting an $18,000 commission and they're assuming that's going all in my pocket. And so once you have that conversation with them about, you know, this actually you're paying the buyer's agent as well, you're splitting it with your broker, you're paying taxes, you're doing the marketing, you're doing all of that. It really brings it into more focus, and they're not as hairy about it then after that, once they realize where the money is going.
Gotcha. Excellent. Josh, same question. How do you stay firm on the commission percentage?
Yeah, I'll just tag along what Shelly said. Shelly, that was great. I agree with everything you said. And I love the idea of a menu of services so that they can pick. You know, I really feel like we have to be in control of it and we can't be afraid to bring it up. Sometimes we feel like commission is the elephant in the room and we don't want to address it. And I think it's important that the person that controls the questions controls the conversation. And so I always come from the standpoint of I want to be in control and bring it up first so that they don't have to feel like they have to have the awkward conversation. I do think it's really great to give sellers different choices. A great example when you're having a conversation with them is you can say, hey, the commission rate is negotiable, and we start our negotiations at 7%, 8%, and 9%. And you can select what you choose to pay. And it's completely up to you, and you're in control of the commission, and you give them choices, and then they can have that conversation with you. I really believe that most people just don't really understand it. And if you're giving them the choices and putting them in control, then they're going to choose what they want to pay. And as long as you bring it up first, there's usually no problems. And then the other thing I would say is bring a net sheet or a cost sheet to your listing appointments with you, so that they can see a breakdown of all of their cost. And when they see the breakdown and then they look at the bottom line, which is mostly what's important to them, then commission rarely becomes an issue.
Awesome. And to me, it also sounds like you have to have a particular mindset of, you can't walk into it going, timid. You need to come in with a confidence of, hey, the services that I'm providing are worth these percentages.
Absolutely. And one other thing that I would add, especially for new agents, I want you to know it does get easier. And as you build your sphere referral, the commission is not even going to become an objection. I'm sure James and Jess can testify to that as well, because once you have a lot of past clients, which will happen in this business, they know you, they love you, and they trust you. And so it won't even become an issue. So right now it might seem like a really big deal, but I promise the more that you get through it, the more that you practice this, the easier it will become.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Jess, same question. How do you stay firm with all the discounters going on?
So let me preface this by saying there are times that we will do it for less than the 6% that we typically charge. But typically by the time we get to the listing presentation, and we've already run that net sheet, we know if that seller is in a position where our discount is going to make or break their situation. If they're not able to get out of that house unless we do a reduced commission, we'll do it all day because we're here to help people out, okay? But where that is not the case, I don't like to talk about commission until I get to the end of my consultation. We've been through the marketing. They've seen that cover sheet with all the faces that help our well-oiled machine run. And I like to explain to people that, if I am willing to give these people's money away, my teammates, everybody behind the scenes that's working hard to get your household for top dollar, what makes you think I will negotiate and go to bat for you when it's your money on the table? Okay. We know we're worth it. The reason that we put so much money into the marketing and the presentation of your house is because we know that we're going to get you top dollar. And so at the end of the day, if you want to go with a discounted brokerage, you might be actually leaving money on the table.
Excellent. That's wonderful advice. James, how do you stay firm on your commission percentage?
You're muted, James.
Rookie
How about
mistake.
now?
There you go.
It is. Sorry, I'm in my car because I kicked off my kids off of school, off their Zoom meetings, and they're starting to get attendance issues. So I'm in my car. So it doesn't come up often enough to be an issue. So I agree with what Josh and Shelly are saying, and Jess too. It rarely comes up, and when it does, it's okay to just say no. I'm sorry, I wish I could, but I can't, or it's not my money to give away, or right. And then there's other times where I just say yes, because you have to look at it that way too. Is shaving off 1% and still getting the listing and potentially picking up a buyer or two or a referral down the road or keeping that client for life worth it? Sure, right? So everybody's business plan is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's all okay. I mean, I've been working with Josh for a while and Jess for a while, and we've known each other for a while. And I mean, they can attest. Like I used to get kind of angry about it. Like my ears would turn red when people ask about it. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. I've shifted it over the years.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll help you out. We typically once or twice a year, people get into a situation like Jess is talking about, and we'll list it for free. We'll get you out of that house, and we show them on that net sheet. Here's what we're willing to do. We have to pay for a sign and photography and stuff like that. But other than that, here you go. We'll help you out. But where they're going and what happens after that, when I follow up with that person a year down the road, 2 years down the road, and they send me somebody and they really appreciate it, that's gold. Like Josh is talking about, there is no such thing as a bad lead. And what do you think they're going to tell their friends? Oh, those folks are discount brokers. They discounted their commission for me. No, hey, they really helped me out when I was in a tight situation. They got me out of our house, right? Yeah. So it's a case by case situation. It is. But my biggest advice is to don't do what I did years ago. Don't get mad about it. Even if I didn't show it, they could see it, right? Just, it's all okay. I wish I could, but I can't. Or you'll know, the more experience that you get, the more appointments that you go on, you'll know how to handle that. But it rarely comes up. I know Jess can probably answer this better than I can this year. Just on the listing side of our team, we're close to 60 closings, and we've discounted our commission 3 times. So it just doesn't come up often enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of chat in the box, the chat box, thanking you for the honesty in that. And what I appreciate is that you guys and every one of our panelists are running their businesses as a business. You're making a business decision if you feel like you should discount it to get the business or not, and you have that choice, right? Instant question. Have you ever walked away from a listing because they won't pay the commission amount? Have you ever said, nope, I'm not going to list your home for that? And I'm asking all 4 of you.
Jay,
is that for me?
Yeah, all 4 of you.
Yes.
So, Jelly, you yes, Josh.
Yes.
So, what was the deciding factor there?
I'll go ahead, if I may, I'll go ahead and answer this one. Commission is just one issue and one objection that we have to get over. And one thing that I've noticed is if people are going to be difficult when it comes to the commission negotiations, a lot of times they're going to be difficult with other things too, such as the pricing and the showings and
Amen.
accessibility, et cetera, et cetera. I just want to say too that I love what James said. You have to remain flexible and make smart business decisions. There are listings that I'm sure all four of us have walked away from that we're willing to pay a full commission or more, but we didn't want to work with those people because of the time, the energy, we didn't vibe or whatever it is. So you have to make smart business decisions on more issues than just commission. But if I have a family that is super nice and super grateful and they need me to reduce in order to make the deal work, then absolutely I'm going to do it, because those are the kind of people that I want to work with. And as far as reductions in commission, I just want to add, for us, it's not the norm, it is the exception. And we're willing to do it on a case-by-case basis. But I think it's really important that you don't go to any listing with the mindset of, this is the norm that I give a discount. You know, that has to be the exception. You have to remain flexible, make smart business decisions, and choose who you want to be in business with and work for and work with. And you don't have to say yes to everybody.
Excellent. That's a great point. One of the most important things I learned this year was from Tom Budney, when he stated, my goal for this year is to stop working with crazy. And I totally get it. And I know you guys, especially, that's exactly it. Sometimes it's just not worth the energy, the time, and everything else that you got to put into it. It's just not worth it. So next question, and we'll start with you, James, and we'll work our way down. How do you go get more leads from your listings? How do you leverage the listing for more leads?
Everything so far has been said already. You can circle prospect, holding open houses on that listing, the Facebook marketing. Facebook is huge. Instagram, checking up on the listing. Here's what's interesting. Today, when you list a house, if you list it coming soon on a Thursday or a Friday, and you pop by that house a time or two during those couple days, you will most likely show that house to a buyer that could or could not be unrepresented. How many, I can't see everybody's hands, but how many of you have been waiting to get into a house when there's a line of people there? A bunch of you probably, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, spend more time at that house, whether it's digitally or in person, and you're going to pick up leads.
Awesome. That is good advice. Jess, same question to you. How do you leverage the listing to get more leads?
That's really it. It's simple. Sign calls, open houses, internet advertising, all of those things are going to bring leads in. Our team is a little different because we separate our listing and our buyer side, but where we scratch each other's backs is we let our buyer's agents camp out in those listings. And what happens to those buyers 3-4 years down the road? They turn into more listings. So for us, it's really about helping the other side of the team more than it is about us a lot of the time, because we're picking up buyers on every listing, and that's okay, even if they don't have a house to sell. But camp out there at the house. If you are a solo agent, make sure your online presence is on point and pick up your phone. Take those sign calls. It's all gold.
Awesome. Nice. What about you, Josh? How do you leverage it?
Yeah, well, definitely, like what Jess said, pick up the phone. That's should be real estate 101. And how many times are you calling listing agents and they never answer, or they never call you back or text you back? And it's really frustrating. I think for us as listing realtors, we have to have a system in place to answer our phones and work with your accountability partners, work with your team, work with other people in the office to script and role play, because conversion is really most of the problem. If somebody's saying, well, I don't have enough leads, I always say, well, how's your conversion? Because I think that when people are calling, you have an opportunity every single time to convert them. So to pick up more leads for my listings, I practice on my conversion and I practice on answering those calls. The other thing I would add to that is I think coming soon status is a great idea. Coming soon status gives multiple buyers opportunity to know about the property. And if you give them do coming soon a couple days before before it actually goes to active status, it gives more of an opportunity for you to capture leads, and it gives all the buyers in the market an opportunity to see that property. Whereas if we just list it and an hour later, we're going to have a great offer that the seller might want to accept. So utilize that time to capture more leads.
Awesome. Hey, real quick, I know that you have a specific strategy about that. Amy was telling me, so can you walk through like the day that it gets put into the MLS and there's no showings? Can you walk through that to generate the most amount of buzz?
Yeah, so we have what's called a listing launch program. We do it as often as the seller will allow it. Obviously, the seller is in control, and sometimes they don't want this to happen. But basically, we get the listing signed and do a coming soon status in the MLS. We schedule an open house for 2 to 3 days after we put it in the MLS. So we make it we make it active on the same day as the open house. And we make the open house public. So, and that's also the first time that our sellers allow showings. So what happens is during the open house, the public can come and agents can come and show it at the same time. And then that creates a buzz. And the reason we do the coming soon and we don't let access happen before it goes active is because people want what they can't have. And so there's always a line, and it's very strategic. There's so many people that come to our open houses, and then when interested buyers see other interested buyers, it causes a sense of urgency.
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Shelly, how do you leverage your listings to get more leads?
Literally, they have killed it with all the answers. My first thing was pick up your phone. Pick up your phone.
I second that. You would not believe the amount of realtors that I call. Now, maybe they're just avoiding my call. That's one thing. But a lot of times their voicemail is full. If you're a realtor, if you're on this call, please don't have your voicemail full. You're losing business. Sorry, Shelly, go ahead.
No, that was it. Everybody's killed it on this. They've hit all the points that I had. And really my first one was just answer the phone.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to start with you. Staying with you, Shelly. A lot of our newer agents here, they're nervous about getting the listing. And so what I would love to hear from the four of you guys are, what's your closing question? What's your closing statement to get the listing, to secure the listing?
Well, so after we've been through everything, I basically, I ask if they have any other questions or concerns I can address right now. And when they say no, I think we're good. I say, great, all that's left for you to do is sign the listing agreement so I can get your home sold. And I stick it right in front of them.
Yep. Write that down. If you're not getting a lot of listings, start learning this language so that you can you'll have more success. It really is all about the language. Say it one more time, Shelly.
I ask if they have any other questions or concerns that I can address right at this time. And when they say no, you've answered all of our questions, I say, great, all that's left for you to do is sign this listing agreement so I can get your home sold.
Boom.
And put it right in front of them.
Slide the paper to them with the pen.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Josh, what's your close statement?
Absolutely the same as Shelly. That's wonderful. If sometimes I say, great, sign here, press hard. And always smile. If they are having objections, I think it's really important that you isolate their objections. For example, if you're not in agreement to price, but everything else sounds good, then you isolate that objection. You ask a question simply like this: Jay, other than the recommended price, is there anything that would stop you from feeling comfortable and confident in moving forward with having me as your agent? And then they'll say yes or no. And if they say no, everything else sounds great, we just don't agree on the price, then I will further that conversation and say, great, well, let's dig into that further. And then you have that conversation with them, you get on the same page. And once you isolate their objections, most people are comfortable and confident moving forward and signing with you.
Awesome. That's excellent. Thank you. Jess, what's your close?
Really similar. Actually, James and I do not bring a hard copy of the listing agreement with us, but I will say, now that we've covered all this information in great detail, do you have any more questions for me? Anything we did not cover? If they say no, I say, great. Now that you've reviewed the comps in great detail, what price point are you comfortable listing your home at? Once they answer that, I say, great, we're going to have Stephanie, our listing assistant, get the paperwork started this evening. Be on the lookout for an email tonight, and I'll follow up with you tomorrow.
Awesome. Definitely a different way of doing it. And I suspect, James, you're doing it the same way since you guys are a team.
Yes, I've done it several different ways. I've done the 1-minute listing presentation with folks in years past, where literally you walk in the house and it's not really 1 minute, but within 10 minutes you have a listing agreement signed. And then up to today where it's a different process. But I've heard Josh talk about this before, and I'm sure Shelly does the same thing. The majority of all the objections and the yeses that you're going to get are handled before you even get to the house.
Mm-hmm.
The pre listing questionnaire, all the qualifying questions, super important. There's a lot of times when we get there, and I know that this has happened to all of us. You'll get there, you'll want to dig into the marketing and the pricing and everything like that, and they tell you, hey, let's just get going on this. Let's do this, right? Don't talk yourself out of a listing agreement either, right? Be careful with that. But yeah, it rarely comes up. It rarely comes up. The objections, pricing, just a piece of advice in today's world with the pricing, let them choose. Give them a range. Hey, it's okay. If you want to price it a little bit high, that's fine. Don't be afraid to tell them your opinion. But my favorite script for that is, hey, the market will speak for us very quickly. You'll know if your house is being used to sell another house or not within a couple weeks. It's all okay. You can price it whatever you want to. You have a nice house, Jay. I like it. I want to help you sell your house. Let's do this. That's my favorite one too. Let's do this. So, but in markets past, I know that you think your neighbor's house sold for $250. We need to list yours at $240 because we got to get ahead of it, right? Mm-hmm. So know your market, know your area, know what's going on.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sounds
that was
like,
a long answer for that. But
no, that's all good.
But yeah, today the objection, the biggest one is the objections are handled up front in that pre-listing questionnaire.
I would say too, guys, you can see that there's multiple ways to handle this. Like Josh and Shelly and Jess and James may not do everything the exact same way, but they all have a system that they follow, right? They have a system in place that they're methodically working down to get the listing. So if you're a newer agent, developing your system, what are you comfortable with? How are you going to handle these objections? What's your system? So be working on developing that. And we're going to have one last question before we wrap up. And I'll start with you, James, and we'll work down to Shelly. What advice would you give to agents as it pertains to go get more listings? Specifically speaking to new agents, what advice would you give them?
For me, going back to the open houses, there's a reason why that's a basic 101 of real estate. You put yourself in front of decision-making adults that and you can ask them whether they want to buy or sell a house. It's that simple. How many folks have you talked to today about real estate?
Awesome.
Go.
Excellent. Jess, what advice would you give a newer or new agent on getting listings?
So I feel like I can speak to this because I got thrown into real estate as a listing agent specifically, and didn't really have that chance to work my way through buyers and build my confidence that way. I think winning listings has everything to do with your confidence level. And if you're newer, you may not have the experience under your belt yet that gives you that confidence, but another way you can gain it is doing your homework. Take the stats classes, know your numbers, spend a few hours running the comps 100 different ways till you know that neighborhood backward and forward. And you can go in there and you can speak intelligently about their specific situation. And honestly, the longer you do this, the more confidence you're naturally going to build. But I kind of hate the term fake it till you make it, because that's really hard for me to do. I can't fake confidence. So I would say, do your homework, do your research, know your numbers, get in the training sessions, and you're going to find that confidence wins you listings.
Awesome. That's great advice. Josh, what advice would you give those new agents?
Sure. Well, you have to know your inventory first and foremost. So make sure that you are the expert in your market and you know what the competition is. I also believe that you need to take training and learn how to do a proper CMA. I believe that a comparative market analysis, and I'm talking about a full CMA, I'm not talking about a one-liner that looks at price per square foot, because price per square foot is not going to be the indicator on how to price your home that has extra amenities or doesn't have extra amenities. So doing a proper market analysis and being able to understand that and explain it to a seller. And I'll be very frank with you guys. My team doesn't really even take marketing material to listing appointments. What we take is a proper comparative market analysis, and that explains the market. And once we show that we have the knowledge of the market, people are ready to sign. So I think that that's going to be absolutely vital. And then the last thing I'll add is this. You have to make a decision. And I think that so many times when we get into real estate, we're timid or we're afraid to go after listings because buyers are easier and we know more buyers. But you have to make a decision and a mindset shift that you're going to go after listings, because he who controls the listings controls the market. And we all know that listings are leverage. So make that mindset decision that you are going to get listings and focus on that, and then you'll have a great career.
Awesome. Great advice. Instant poll, would you guys benefit from having a CMA training class? Anyone interested in participating in that class?
Yes.
I'm doing it quick. I've got several hands raised, so we'll work on getting that scheduled maybe in the early September. So perfect. Thank you guys for instant poll. Shelly Laster, final question. Give some advice to newer agents that are looking to grow their listing game.
Wow. So I would say, don't be afraid to pre-qualify them before you show up. Make sure you do that. It's so important. You don't want to just show up and waste everybody's time. I've done that a million times, so I can speak.
What does that mean, Shelly? Describe.
I mean, you really want to just make sure that they need to sell, that their motivation is there, because so many times they're just kind of like thinking about it. They're kind of and you'll show up there and you'll spend an hour or two of your time talking about their house and all the things they could do, and then they're going to turn around and not list or list with somebody else.
Got it.
So that just kind of protect your time, pre-qualify them before you show up.
That's awesome. That's excellent. All right. Thank you guys so much for your time, all four of you. We really appreciate it. Lots of people saying they would love to have the CMA class, so we will definitely get that on the schedule. And I'll see if I can talk Josh into leading that question. In the chat box, you can see the Ignite link if you want to jump over there. I'm going to use the last 3 minutes. If you have listings that you want to promote here, now's the time. We've got a few extra minutes. Bring your listings to the table and let's get them sold.
I'm in.
All right, go, Larry.
Northwest side. It's Countryside Ridge. It's Linda Vista. Along Hartman, up in that area. It's 1,660 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a mountain of upgrades that were done in 2017 when the buyer bought the house. New flooring, new carpet, new AC, a $20,000 solar system that is owned and conveys with the house, no lease. Smart home, all of that. We expect to have a good crowd this coming weekend for the open house. It's going live tomorrow. No showings until the open house starts on Saturday. But it's in that high desire neighborhood up there. Every house up there in that subdivision over the last 6 sales, all sold in less than 5 days.
Awesome. Excellent. Jody Koch, you have one. Jody Koch, going once, twice.
I'm here.
There you go. You barely made it.
I know.
All right.
I have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, single story off of Shannon, and it's listed at 179.9. That is in the Northwest. It's the only thing under 200 in all of the Northwest and North and West. And it's going to be a hot commodity, but you're welcome to schedule an appointment with me this weekend, and I can get you in prior to it being active on Tuesday.
Awesome. Jody, Kayla Peterson has requested that information, so get with her. Johanna, you got a listing you want to promote? Thank you, Jody.
Yes, sorry. Yes, I do. So where are all my luxury buyers at? I actually have 3 luxury homes, 2 in the same neighborhood. One is going to be a 4-bedroom with an RV garage, brand new construction, Pulte home. It's going to be priced at $800,000. So it has a 3-car garage plus an RV, which is very unique, very hard to find. I also have another one in the same neighborhood that's going to be priced at $750,000, 3,000 square foot. Both of these homes do have pools. The one for 3,000 square foot is a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, new construction, Pulte home. And that one's going to be priced at $750,000. Both are coming soon within the next day or so. I also have a coming soon in the foothills. As everyone knows, it's very hard to find 5-bedroom homes in the foothills. This home's going to be priced at $165,000. And this home has 5 bedrooms. It's a 3-car garage on over an acre, beautiful foothills home. Let me know if you guys have any qualified buyers who are looking in those areas.
Awesome. Thank you very much. All right, we have time for one more. Anyone else have a listing they want to promote? Going once, going twice.
I have
Who's
a
that?
4-bedroom
Kayla.
in Corona. It's going live next Friday. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath, nice landscaped. It's going for $300,000. There's nothing on the market out there, so we'll be probably the only one. There's 2 active contingent. Everything's landscaped. They've got like a gas grill out in the back, some pavers. Everything's been completely redone, brand new. It's beautiful.
Awesome. Excellent. Good job, guys. Hey, I appreciate your time this morning. I hope you got some value out of all the conversations. Keep your eyes and ears open for Mega Camp information, and I hope you have a fantastic, productive week. Congratulations. See ya.